I'm going to tell you guys a story, and this story is a true story. It's a story about what I would later learn was something called the Hat Man. It's something that I don't talk to a lot of people about for either ridicule or get made fun of or called crazy. A lot of people get that, and I'm very private on a lot of matters. But this is something that I've delved into, looked up, and I found that I'm not alone in that. You know, uh, I want to say story, but it's more experience. Um, when I was 7 or 8 years old, I lived in San Diego, California, with my parents. Uh, some nights I would wake up and just lay there in bed, as a lot of kids do, scared of the dark. One night I woke up and the house was kind of filled with this fog, a dark fog. Um, and that's something that it's hard to kind of describe. It wasn't like normal fog. It was like a dark fog. As I made my way out of the bedroom, into the laundry room, and into the front room, I went to look outside the front door, um, through the little window that we had. And I looked outside into the street, and there was no fog outside. And so I thought maybe it was the lights reflected in through the windows, or through the drapes. Like it didn't make sense to me. And my parents' door was closed, and they had a standard rule: if their door was closed, you didn't go. Don't bother them. So I went to the front door and looked out, and I didn't see any fog outside. And as I turned around, there was a person that was standing in the middle of the front room. You could only describe it as what would be like a living shadow. I couldn't see any features on the person, but I could make out that the person had like a long brimmed hat. And I was paralyzed with fear. Um, Not at the fact that some supernatural thing was making me not move. I just was scared out of my mind. Uh, I stared at this thing for what to me seemed like an eternity, just staring at it in awe. And after a while, it rushed to me, picked me up like you would pick up a child, like an infant, um, by the armpits, picked me up, and it said in my head, I could hear, uh, "I almost got you." And I don't remember anything after that. I assumed when I woke up the next morning that it was all a dream. Um, and so I tried my best to put it out of my mind. Years later, I was surfing on the internet, and I found pictures, uh, doing through different documentaries and such, because I research a lot. I watch a lot of documentaries, and one of them was on shadow people. So I continued looking up, shadow people stuff, and then one of the um, pictures that I saw was of this hat man, and it was exactly as I saw. And researching other people's experiences with this, like it was the same scenario basically as mine. Someone watching you, the long brimmed hat uh, is really like the main feature of it. Some have him is some. Pardon me, I'm getting a little flustered here. I don't I don't talk about this often. Some people have described him as having a trench coat, or at least the silhouette of one. But it always goes back to the hat. Some people have said that the difference between the Shadow Man and the Hat Man are like different classes, and I'm not really sure if that's the case or not. That's something I plan to delve into, that along with like religion, um, UFOs, ghost stories, because I also have a ghost story that I've gone through as a kid, ironically enough, in the same house. Um, but these are the things that I plan to talk about along with my movie reviews and video game reviews and whatnot. But I wanted to share this story with you guys, um, because I'm really excited to go through what I found, and maybe, clarify some things for you guys, or, pose some more questions, because I think that's all life really is. It's just asking those questions of why. I think once we found all the answers, I think life becomes pretty boring. But that's my experience with the Hat Man. And yeah, if you are interested in more, click and subscribe.